Hello, it's Scott Manley here with the Deep Space Network for October 29th. It's almost Halloween, but right now we are looking back in time. Specifically, we are looking back about 13 billion years to the oldest galaxy so far discovered. At a redshift which puts it about 700 million years after the formation of the universe, or after the creation of the universe in the Big Bang, the galaxy Z9 GND 5296 has a star formation rate about 150 times that of the Milky Way. It's there chugging, creating stars which will of course ultimately form the elements that create people like us one day. So yeah, that's the most distant galaxy discovered. What they did was they looked for hydrogen lines in the spectrum, and then they found them. They looked at the redshift, and lo and behold, it was way the hell out there. Closer to home, our own stellar activity is hotting up with a bunch of sunspots to see right now. There's been a coronal mass ejection in the last few hours, and apparently if you're out at Halloween near the poles, there is a 25% chance that we may get some epic aurora. If not, you'll probably have some awesome things to see otherwise. In gaming news, we have two cool Kickstarters which are both finishing in the next couple of days. You should check them out to see if you want to get in on them. They are RimWorld, which is something like Dwarf Fortress on an alien planet. Right now the graphics, everybody says they look like Prison Architect, but those are placeholders presumably because it has raised almost $200,000, and in the next couple of days I wouldn't be surprised if it actually passes the $200,000 goal. Similarly, Pulsar Lost Colony, which you've seen me playing, that is kind of like Artemis Bridge Simulator, but with the ability to run around inside your own spaceship and hopefully shoot borders. That is in the last 48 hours or thereabouts, and that's past its goal, but keep going, keep giving money, and you might get some awesome stretch goals. And of course, since we're talking about stretch goals, we can't avoid mentioning Star Citizen, $25 million, and it has unlocked the Enhanced Alpha program, which so far the only effect we've seen is that on Monday, the number of alpha slots were about 1,000. Now it's 51,000 because they've added a whole lot. That means that we will not run out of alpha slots until after the lifetime insurance deadline passes. Also, check out the Mitani.com. I know they're full of Eve news and stuff like that, but they also do news on a lot of other things. Specifically, they have a great article this week about the grey market in Star Citizen. That is basically people buying and selling pledge ships basically before the game is even released. There is RMT going on. There's people selling packages on Amazon and eBay. Do not buy anything from Amazon or eBay for these guys. Seriously. Go read the article and find out what's really going on. There are people that are offering lifetime insurance and they are not telling people about the price differences. I mean, I know I do a little bit of this, but it's mostly because I do not want to see people getting ripped off. They found a moderator of the forums who was involved with this. They found people that spent way over the odds for spacecraft, and it was kind of interesting today as well because somebody posted a troll thread that pretended that the Vandal Scythe was coming back to the store, and it was immediately filled with people wailing and shouting, saying terrible things about how they felt cheated because they spent way over the odds to buy this spacecraft. And of course it was all a troll, but it was very entertaining. Yeah, this whole grey market thing has led to a whole bunch of threads. It's really quite interesting to watch. And EVE Online continues to be interesting to watch. We actually had a high-sec capital ship killed. Capital ships in EVE Online are restricted. They are not allowed to jump into high-sec. But early in the game, it was possible to build them in high-sec. And so the ones that are there in high-sec remain in high-sec. But if one gets destroyed, that's a serious business because although they're 10 a penny in low-sec and null-sec, they're very, very rare in high-sec. So to lose one to red versus blue, apparently, it was serious news. We'll probably find out more about what actually happened in the next few days, but it was news in and of itself. Rubicon continues to be developed and updated. We've had the interdictors, they have been rebalanced again. They've gained a little more. They gained a little more hit points, lost a bit of speed, And the bubble launch mechanism has been changed so that they can only fit a single launcher now, but that launcher can have up to 3 bubbles. So firing bubbles in rapid succession is now a slightly different mechanic, but I would say it's an improved mechanic. The Sisters of Eve cruiser as well, it has been modified. They took away some drone bandwidth in space. They gave it some extra turret range, but generally it's an improvement in terms of game balance, but it does nerf the Stratios significantly. Now, from internet spaceships to real spaceships, the Dream Chaser spaceplane, which is being developed by the Sierra Nevada Corporation, not to be confused with the corporation that makes the beer, Sierra Nevada beer, which is magnificent Indian Pale Ale. They are developing a personal space plane, basically, and we're testing it today for its automated landing system, and they basically lifted it up on a helicopter, let it drop down towards the runway, where the autopilot flew perfectly. It came in, flared just right, and then someone in this control room probably let out several expletives as they realized that only 2 of the 3 landing wheels had came down. The video that we have shows everything up to the landing and then nothing after it, but we can only imagine it was pretty bad. A rather less ambitious version of personal space travel was announced this week by Worldview Enterprises. They're planning to undercut both Virgin Galactic and XCOR by offering flights to the edge of space for $75,000 inside a balloon. Travel up to 30 kilometers, see the inky black sky above and below you, see the curvature of the Earth, and feel the weightlessness that your wallet experiences after spending $75,000 on the experience. I'm sure the difference of 25k might make the difference to some people, but I think I'll wait until prices come down a little more. Finally, this isn't exactly news, but these are a bunch of artifacts that people have commented on in the background. This here, this is a telephone cable, right? You take a look at this. This is like several thousand pairs, copper pairs in there. This was given to me by a friend. I guess he works in telecoms or something. It is joyously nerdy. I love this. It's like a work of art. It was taken out of the ground. I don't know. Awesome stuff. The guitar that is normally sitting in the background is sitting over here right now. And here is the guitar. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to try and get the light on it just right. There. If you look at it just right, first of all, yeah, there you go. You can see the buttons on it. Those are extra buttons. And those are important. There's a D-pad down there. This is a regular Fender guitar. You know, you can strum, right? You can strum play guitar on it. But the pickups are specially designed so that they can pick up each string individually, right? There are sensors all the way up the fretboard. In each of these fret wires, there's a little electrical sensor that will detect which strings you're fretting. And because of that, you can combine these two and you can generate MIDI signals. That is a MIDI output here. So you can take that MIDI output, plug it into a box, and you can play Rock Band 3 Guitar Pro Mode with it, right? So you can play the Pro Mode, play the like thousands of tracks basically with a Pro guitar. It's awesome and it's very, very hard. And it's different and actually learn stuff. But if you really want to learn to play, want a guitar game, now I would say go and look at Rocksmith. They've just released the 2014 version. That comes with a special cable that plugs into either your PlayStation or your Xbox or your PC. If you buy it on Steam, by the way, you have to buy the cable separately, but it actually listens to the audio instead of using this MIDI thing. So it's a really good training system for guitar. So I would totally recommend Rocksmith, even though it's an Ubisoft game and I've been raging on their inability to get my Far Cry 3 code working. Finally, just over here, there's an interesting thing I got in the post. I totally hadn't expected this to come. I guess it goes this way around. This is a little gift that YouTube sent me for passing like 100,000 users. It's kind of nice to have free stuff. It's like hey, there's a letter that says, hey, thank you for, having lots of people view your channel. Trying to keep you guys viewing my channel here. And there's a camera bag because, of course, I do all this stuff with cameras, right? Well, okay, I'm going to put it to good use anyway. It's very nice to have. So, I hope you've been interested in this Deep Space Network. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.